Good morning, my dear student. Today we are going to start your class 11th history, theme 6, the three order. My dear, this is very important and interesting chapter, the three order. In this chapter, we will try to understand about the social structure of European society. We also learn about the bonding between every and each section of society. My dear, on the behalf of that, we also understand that how the political system was running on during 9 to 16th century in Europe. Okay, let's start this chapter. The three order. In the chapter, we shall learn about the socio-economic and political changes which occurred in Western Europe between the 9th and 16th century. After the fall of the Roman Empire, many groups of Germanic people from Eastern and Central Europe occupied regions of Italy, Spain, and France. In the absence of unifying political forces, military conflicts was frequent, and the need to gather resources to protect one's land became very important. Social organization was therefore centered on the control of land. Its feature were derived from both imperial Roman traditions and German customs. Christianity, the official religion of the Roman Empire from the 4th century, survived the collapse of Roman and gradually spread to Central and Northern Europe. The church also became a major landholder and the political power in Europe. The three orders, the focus of this chapter are three social categories: Christians, priests, land owning nobles, and peasants. The changing relationship between these three groups was an important factor in shaping European history for the several centuries. There are two paragraphs here. In the first paragraph, author want to tell you chapter, the story, the history which we are going to read about 9 to 16th century of Western Europe. Dear student, in the Western Europe, the fall of the Roman Empire, the various groups of the Germanic people from Eastern and Central Europe. They were widely spread from Europe to Italy, Spain, and France. They categorized the various social groups in the absence of any unifying political forces. Military conflicts was frequent and need to gather resources to protect one's land become very important. Actually, as you know that during that time, everyone want to gather the very vast empire. So always they involve himself in the conflicts and war. They want to gather the many more resources. They want to capture the lands. So that's why that's result the war and conflicts was going on. The main reason of the war to control the resources and protect one's land. That is the main purpose behind war. Social organizations therefore center in the control of land. So everyone want to control their own land. So everyone decided that at any rate, at any cost, by hook, by crooks, we have to control, we have to save our land and resources. The official religion of the Roman Empire from the 4th century, as you know, that it became the Christianity. I hope you have remembered the chapter 3. Chapter 3, beyond the three continents, where we studied about the Roman Empire and where we also studied about that during 4th century the Christianity became the official religion of the Europe. So that's why, on the basis of the religious text of the Christians people, Bible, society categorized in three parts according to their occupation, according to their capability. I hope you are getting understand what I want to tell you. This was not the categorization only in Europe. If you will mindfully observe about the worldwide labor, you can easily find that this type of categorization also present in India, Hindustan. In our country, the one system that was similar to this categorization. Okay, one system, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. In European society, the social categories, the three orders, it means the social categories: Christians, priest, landowning nobles, and the peasants. In the Europe, there are three categories, three orders, but in India, four orders, four one. Categorization is everywhere, behalf of their capability, their capacity, and these categorizations set the relations between each other. The changing relationship between these their three groups was an important factor in the shaping European history for the several centuries. I hope you are getting understand what we are going to read in this chapter. Obviously, without any hesitation, I can say that we are going to read about that the social structure of the Western Europe during 9th to 16th century, and behalf of that, we will also understand the political conditions, the economical conditions, the cultural aspects, the religious conditions of this continent. Before we start this chapter, we would like to focus the resources. On the basis of that, we understand the history of three orders. We should never forget that without it, we are totally unable to understand, we are totally unable to learn the common people's history. So let us come and try to understand the sources. Over the last 100 years, European historians have done a detailed work on the histories of regions. Even the individuals, villages, this was possible because from the medieval period, there is a lot of material in the form of documents, details of land ownership, prices, and legal case. For example, the churches kept recorded of the births, marriages, and death, which have made it possible to understand the structures familiar and the populations, that is, the inspection in which churches give informations about traders, associations, and song and stories give a sense of festival and community activities. All these can be used by the historians to understand the economic and social life and change over a long period, like in case the populations, or over short period like the peasants' revolts. Of the many scholars in France who have worked on the feudalism, one of the earliest was Bloch, Mark Mark Bloch was one of the group of scholars who argued that the history consisted of much more than just the political history, international relations, and the lives of the great people. He emphasized that the importance of the geography in the shaping human history and the need to understand the collective behavior or attitudes of groups of people. Blocks Feudal society is about European, particularly French society between 900 to 1300, describing the remarkable details of social relationship and hierarchies, land management, and the popular culture of the period. His career was cut short tragically when he was shot by the Nazi in the Second World War. But the sources, the blue lines, which is given in your book, that is clearly inform you about that the group of the historian, the one, the prominent historian's name was Mark Bloch, who felt that the history is not only focused on the great kings, biographies, the international relations, and such type of others. According to them, history it means we have to study about the common people's life. And he collected the many more materials to understand the common societies and their activities, common people's life, their occupations, their problems, and their relation between the center and state and nobles and church also. He uses the recorded which was present in the court, the churches, the museums, libraries, and the villages also. And on the behalf of that, he did hard work, and he tried to success to focus on the life of the common people during 9th to 13th century. Their problem also. Bloch's feudal societies about European, particularly French society between 900 to 1300, describing the remarkable detailed social relations in the hierarchies, land managements, and the popular culture of the period. His career was cut short tragically when he was shot by the Nazi in the Second World War. My dear, Bloch's feudal society is about European, particularly French society between 9 to 1300. Bloch explained society that is mainly in the French society, early French society, 9 to, which was surviving on 9 to 13th century. And we should never forget that the feudal system is exactly related from land, the land management and the people culture of the period. His career was cut short tragically when he was shot by the Nazis in the Second World War. His career was cut short. Unfortunately, he was shot by the Nazi soldiers. And we lost the great historians. Mark Bloch was died on in this shooting during Second World War. So, my dear, establish a path on which we can say on which we can easily understand the the story of common people. Okay, let us come and try and understand the next topic, an introduction of feudalism. But before this topic, I would like to explain this whole paragraph in the other language. This is Hindi. It would be better for you to understand Hindi. I am saying because what I feel, and in my class there are so many students who are to able to understand the points. Okay, leave this point here. We will we have to focus our aim, that our aim is that कि हम आपको कितने अच्छे से इस चैप्टर को समझा सकें। इस चैप्टर में हमने 9th to 16th सेंचुरी के बीच मध्य पश्चिमी यूरोप में होने वाले सामाजिक, आर्थिक और राजनीतिक परिवर्तनों के बारे में अध्ययन करेंगे। रोमन साम्राज्य के पतन के पश्चात पूर्वी और मध्य यूरोप के अनेक जर्मन मूल के समूहों ने इटली, स्पेन, फ्रांस के क्षेत्रों पर अधिकार कर लिया था। किसी भी संगठित राजनीतिक बल के अभाव में प्रायः युद्ध होते रहते थे और अपनी भूमि की रक्षा के लिए संसाधन जुटाना अति आवश्यक हो गया था। इस प्रकार से सामाजिक ढांचे का जो मेन सेंटर पॉइंट था, केंद्र बिंदु था, उस भूमि पर नियंत्रण था, लैंड कंट्रोल करना था। इसकी विशेषताएं जर्मन रीति रिवाज और शाही रोम की परंपराओं से ही ली गई थी। ईसाई धर्म, जो कि 4वीं शताब्दी ईस्वी का प्रमुख आधिकारिक धर्म बन चुका था। ईसाई धर्म जो 4वीं सदी से ही रोमन साम्राज्य का राजकीय धर्म था, रोम के पतन के पश्चात भी बचा रहा। धीरे धीरे मध्य और उत्तरी यूरोप में फैल गया ये क्रिश्चियनिटी। चर्च भी यूरोप में एक मुख्य भूमि धारक और राजनीतिक शक्ति बन गया था। माय डियर, वी शुड नेवर फॉरगेट दैट द चर्च आल्सो हैव द वेरी वास्ट लैंड। एक बड़ा पार्ट उसके पास था, जमीन का एक बड़ा टुकड़ा उसके पास था। 3 वर्ग, 3 ऑर्डर्स, जो इस अध्याय का मेन केंद्र बिंदु है। 3 ऑर्डर से तात्पर्य 3 सोशल कैटेगरी से है। पहला क्लेर्जी है, ईसाई वर्ग, ईसाई पादरी। दूसरा भूमिधारक, नोबेल्स। और तीसरा पीजेंट्स। इन 3 वर्गों के बीच बदलते संबंध कई सदियों तक यूरोप के इतिहास को गढ़ने वाले महत्वपूर्ण कारक थे। माय डियर, पिछले 100 वर्षों में यूरोपीय इतिहासकारों ने विविध क्षेत्रों के इतिहास, यहाँ तक कि प्रत्येक गांव के इतिहास का विस्तृत कार्य किया। ऐसा इसलिए संभव हो पाया क्योंकि भूस्वामित्व के विवरणों, मूल्यों और कानूनी मुकदमों जैसे बहुत सारी सामग्री दस्तावेजों के रूप में उपलब्ध थी। उदाहरण के लिए, चर्च से मिलने वाले जन्म, मृत्यु और विवाह के अभिलेखों की मदद से ही परिवारों की जनसंख्या की संरचना को समझा जा सका। चर्च से प्राप्त अभिलेखों ने व्यापारिक संस्थाओं के बारे में सूचना दी और गीत व कहानियों द्वारा हमें त्योहारों और सामुदायिक गतिविधियों के बारे में बोध हुआ। इन सभी का उपयोग इतिहासकार द्वारा आर्थिक और सामाजिक जीवन, दीर्घकालीन जनसंख्या अथवा अल्पकालीन कृषक विद्रोह के आधार पर परिवर्तनों को समझने में किया गया। समय समय पर जो बदलाव हुए, समय समय पर जो किसानों का आंदोलन हुआ, समय समय पर जो जनसंख्या में वृद्धि हुई, या समय समय पर महामारी के फैलने से जनसंख्या में जो कमी आई, इन सब की डिटेल्स इतिहासकारों ने तमाम सारे दस्तावेजों से इकट्ठा किया। उनके आधार पे तत्कालीन इतिहास को समझने का प्रयास किया। फ्यूडलिज्म पर सर्वप्रथम काम करने वाले विद्वानों में से एक फ्रांस के मार्क ब्लॉक थे। मार्क ब्लॉक, जिनका जन्म 1886 में हुआ और उनकी मृत्यु 1944 में हुई, ये फ्रांस के विद्वानों के उस वर्ग से थे जिनका ये तर्क था इतिहास की विषय वस्तु राजनीतिक इतिहास, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संबंध और महान व्यक्तियों की जीवनियों से कुछ अधिक है। उन्होंने भूगोल के महत्व द्वारा मानव इतिहास को गढ़ने पर जोर दिया, जिससे कि लोगों के समूहों का व्यवहार और रुख समझा जा सके। ब्लॉक का सामंती समाज यूरोपीय विशेषकर 900 to 1300 के मध्य फ्रांसीसी समाज के सामाजिक संबंधों और श्रेणियों, भूमि प्रबंधन और उस काल की जन संस्कृति का असाधारण विवरण देता है। द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध में नाजियों द्वारा गोली मारकर हत्या करने के कारण उनके द्वारा किए जा रहे शोध व अध्यापन कार्य पर अचानक ही विराम लग गया। उनका शोध कार्य रुक गया। मार्क ब्लॉक का ये यूरोपीय इतिहास की एक बहुत बड़ी क्षति थी, लेकिन उनके द्वारा किए गए कार्य, उनके द्वारा बनाई गई स्कूल, इतिहास का स्कूल जिसमें निम्न वर्ग के लोगों के इतिहास, मध्यम वर्ग के लोगों का इतिहास, सामान्य सामाजिक वर्गों का इतिहास, ये जो परंपराएं उन्होंने कायम की इतिहास लेखन में, वो आज भी उपस्थित है, प्रेजेंट है। अब हमारा नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है एन इंट्रोडक्शन टू फ्यूडलिज्म। एन इंट्रोडक्शन टू फ्यूडलिज्म। Before we start this chapter, before we start this topic, I would like to discuss the term medieval. Medieval era refer to the period in Europe history between the 5th and the 15th century. My dear, you should never forget that the European society also on the basis of this study categorized in three parts: the ancient European history, the medieval European history, and modern European history. As far as the matter of ancient European history, it is stopped till 5th century AD, and the 5th to 15th century, that history is called medieval history, and 16th to onwards this history is called modern European history. So it is totally different from Indian history. Why? Because in India the medieval history is started from 1192 Battle of Tarain, or some other historian who believe that would be started from 711, the campaign of Muhammad bin Qasim on Sindh. Invades of Muhammad bin Qasim on Sindh. सिंध पर मोहम्मद बिन कासिम के आक्रमण से 711 ईस्वी से मध्यकाल का प्रारंभ मानते हैं। तो भारत में कुछ इतिहासकार मध्यकाल का प्रारंभ 1191-1192 तराइन के प्रथम युद्ध, तराइन के द्वितीय युद्ध से स्वीकार करते हैं। तो यहाँ दोनों में थोड़ा हमको अंतर, बदलाव देखने को मिला। अब हम ध्यान देंगे अपने अगले टॉपिक पे, और हमारा अगला टॉपिक है एन इंट्रोडक्शन टू फ्यूडलिज्म, सामंतवाद का एक परिचय है। एन इंट्रोडक्शन टू फ्यूडलिज्म। फ्यूडलिज्म का मतलब होता है सामंतवाद। सामंत का मतलब होता है स्मॉल किंग, छोटे राजा। और ये शब्द फ्यूडलिज्म एक जर्मन वर्ड फ्यूड से बना हुआ है। फ्यूड का अर्थ होता है जमीन का टुकड़ा। फिलहाल हम इन सब चीज़ों को देखेंगे जब इस पैराग्राफ को पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन आज के लिए इन पॉइंट पे हम आपको रोकेंगे। ये पॉइंट्स हम अपनी अगली क्लास में शुरू करेंगे। तो इन चीज़ों को पढ़िए ध्यान से, इन चीज़ों को पढ़िए ध्यान से, और उसके आधार पे हमने जो देखा, हमने जो पढ़ा यूरोपियन समाज के बारे में, उनके सोशल कैटेगरी के बारे में, क्यों हुआ, उसके पीछे के रीजन क्या है, इन चीज़ों पे मनन करिए, चैप्टर को अध्ययन, चैप्टर के पैराग्राफ को पढ़िए और फिर खुद से कल्पना करिए कि समाज कैसा रहा होगा. I think it would be better for you when you will imagine that which type of society running on during that time, which was categorized on their controlling of the land. Okay, जमीन पे नियंत्रण के आधार पे किस तरह का समाज बना होगा, इन चीज़ों के आधार पर यदि कल्पना करेंगे तो समाज के पूरे डिटेल्स आपको मिल जाएंगे. और धर्म की किस तरीके से हर चीज़ों में भागीदारी थी, हस्तक्षेप था, इन चीज़ों को भी आप अगर लेके चलेंगे तो निश्चित रूप से आप इस चैप्टर को अच्छे से समझ सकेंगे. तो आज के लिए इतना ही. गुड बाय एंड टेक केयर.
Hi, good morning, my dear student. Today we are going to continue your class 11th history chapter the three orders. My dear, in this chapter I was discussed in your previous class about social condition, social categories of the mid West Europe from 9th to 16th century. Dear student, no doubt to say that this is very important things that you have to understand that European society categorized in three parts: clergy, nobility, and peasantry. Dear, we also discussed with you that the peasantry class is very vast, but their representation is a very low. They face so many difficulties starting of this class. The starting of this class, I was explained that